All right, here we are with the Camaro. The owner, the Camaro took and bought all aftermarket parts and proceeded to put the outside body and everything to the car together. You know, we got some issues with the gap lines and the shapes of the hood. We're not having any alignment, is massively off. So we're going to go through and disassemble some of the front end. We got him to send down the old front end clip to match it up to the hood to see how it compared, because this is bent up on this side. It's cut back. It's not matching at all. It's not a very good hood. Some of the other panels, you know, we got minor issues. We got some waves through here and a couple of dents. This end is pushed down where it should have came up and out. We got some issues with this other side, the same thing with the hood. Down through the back, it's got some dents, and then it's been dropped or damaged there. Other issues with the front end is just it's not lined up. We're going to have to take everything apart and go over its alignment and get it back where it needs to be. Now we go back to the back of the car. Some of the concerns is the gap line here of we're going to be of what the tightness you would like that to be, since the panels are all welded on. You know, how concerned do I need to be with this gap line? And hell, it is it's like an 1/8 up there. We got a gauge sitting here, didn't we?
Yeah.
I got it. It's in my pocket. This is a map gauge. It's going to tell you different thicknesses. The 3 whites are 3/16. That's what you mostly want your gaps to. These are, the up front is narrower than 3/16. Come back and it'll go all the way to switching is 3/8 at the very end. So we needed to see what we want to do to tighten both of these corners up. And then up at the top, now this one is I think 5/16 there. This one up here.
That's a pretty wide gap there.
Yeah, we did that. I think it's 5 or 6. Yeah, it gets pretty wide on this side.
3 white ones.
Yeah, usually it's 3/16. That's what this is. Now this piece is usually a little tighter, and then you got 3/16 between your hood and yeah, we're about 3/8 on that.
The other side the same way too. The other side looks like it's wide.
Yeah, and it goes from wide to very tight. So we need to figure out exactly, you know, which way he would like us to go with it. Then you come over here and look at the door, pull the camera down here to the side. We go down to the side of the door, and you should be 3/16, and here's 2. I can't fit 2/16 in it. I can get it in up here, but I get down here and it won't go through. That's 2/16. So the door's too tight right here. It should be no less than 3/16 in any of the stage before your primer and paint's on it. When you get done primer and paint, everything's right in between 2 and 3/16 with millage. You end up with a real nice line all the way around it. Now the bottom of the Camaro doors, it's got a pretty good gap to it. That's not unusual in Camaro and Chevelle doors. Now we're a lot wider in the front than we are in the back. And now the gap, like the front end, like I said, you can plainly see the front end isn't lined up at all. We have to find out, you know, what we'll have to disassemble the front end and line it up better. I think we're going to disassemble it, reline up the doors, reline up the other door, and then work towards the front end. The hood's a big concern. What we got to do with the hood to straighten it out. I don't know. The hood looks like it was either folded and laid out wrong, or it was dropped on the side pretty heavy. I don't know if this got damaged in shipping before he got the hood. If it was, maybe the whole hood was dropped on this side really bad, because it's way too shallow. It doesn't match the lines on both sides. We'll move it around, see what we can do. stretch it, see what we can come up with. But that's some of our concerns is, you know, getting these lines, none of these lines are gonna have to be gapped and worked. I mean, it's, right now you don't have 3/16 in there, but we're massive over here. We're at, let's see.
Yeah, the camera doesn't show nearly how bad this thing is.
Well,
How bad it
we're at
doesn't
like
match.
5 on this side here,
Yeah, that's pretty wide there.
you know. Well, I figured if we talk through it, I mean, we're tight back here. He knows these things with the front end. We just have to see, you know, how much he wants us to, you know, go. Trying to get these lines what they're supposed to be. This one's the same way. I cannot fit a 3/16 in there. You can't fit halfway up here. So that's in some of the skin in the folding. Here I can, I'm so tight up against it I can only fit one. That's going to be way too tight. The fold of the way the skin was laid, just, you know, and I handed it to him. He made a good effort. He had never done this before, but some things he should have said, I need to let the guy that does this all the time do it. I'm going to have to go back and redo a bunch of little odds and ends things that add up, where you can put the skin on and pre-fit the skin and see how it's fitting to the shapes and see and mark where, because these skins are never perfect. You got to get used to marking them, how you're going to get them to fold, to get them to lay out. Another concern, this is just, he meant well, it's way overkill. The door is completely welded across the top, and it's made it very, very wavy across the outside of the skin of the door, and we're going to have to really work that and block it down and hammer and dolly and work out some of the dents and see if we can get the waves out. I might have to fit some things back into it and everything before, because I don't know how wavy it actually made it. You got good reinforcement plate there, but that's where we are with put it up in the air and do some X measuring and cross measure things.
How's the bumper fit?
I'm really concerned with the bumper at this stage.
It doesn't actually look too bad.
Little tight.
What about the rear panel?
Yeah, see, this panel should have been folded a little different and got it to shift over a little further. If we would have hammered and dollied and trimmed on this fender a little bit on this inner panel right here, it would have got the extra.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You needed an
Where it's
extra
kind of
1/8
wrinkled
inch.
from making the fender.
From how they make it,
Yeah.
well, you got to put it on, then you got to go back and hammer and dolly this edge.
Get everything
you might
out
have
of
to
the way.
slice it. You might have to hammer and dolly it to get it to go in further. You know, like I said, he tried. Unless you've done this a long time, you don't realize that aftermarket parts are not original factory parts, and they just do not fit the same way.
Yeah, what about the windshield here, the rear window here? This one didn't.
Window, we're gonna barely get lucky with the window.
That's
The
pretty
window,
bad on that.
It's a shame it's all welded in. It's gonna be close. The trim barely covers the outside edge. There's where the original, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but it's a 1/4 inch difference.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see
On
it
it.
or not.
I don't know if you can. We fitted that with that. Now we're only hitting the metal by about maybe what? 1/4 inch, 3/8?
1/4 inch. If
You
you're
know,
lucky.
all the way around.
1/4 inch up top too. Yeah, there isn't much there. The inside.
Now on the sides, you do have a decent amount on the side, which would be appropriate, but the top and the bottom, that's going to be cutting it close, and we're not coverage very much. We're only covering the window by about 1/8 inch now. You know, top, we've got it lined up so when you look at it, you know, he's got new glass. This is the old glass, so we can check it out and everything. It will work. We'll be able to, you know, see if it was all the way around at this much of a coverage, you'd have a nice, large gasket coverage all the way around it.
Yeah.
You know, when you put in the urethane caulk all the way around and lower the window in, it's got plenty of clearance. It's just not much left. You might have, I don't know if you can see it through the glass up here. You might have about 1/4 inch.
Yeah, it shows pretty good on this camera.
Okay.
On this shot here.
Well, that's why I backed it in here to give it enough light to see
Yeah.
everything maybe.
How's the top of the quarters? Once you go.
They're not bad, I guess. I mean, you know.
Roof's still in good shape.
Yeah, roof. It's got a dent over there on one side. It's a little small dent.
How's this windshield line up with it? Does
I
it
don't
lay
have
flat or
windshield with
anything?
us.
Oh, we don't? Oh, we have one.
No.
All right. Yeah, I'm curious to see how it lays in there.
No, we didn't bring a windshield back with us, did we?
I have all the glasses in the car when we
Yeah, we had
We didn't have
the
it,
rear window we
must
set
not have
in.
been.
And I think
Did we
that's
check it there? Did we have one there? We checked it? Did we?
No?
Let me turn this off. It
I don't-
creased it.
I don't know if you can see. Yeah, I see the crease lines on the side. I see the other one there. But if you get it the right angle, maybe you can see the crease line here that's dense.
Reach over the hood.
If you get it the right angle, you can see that there's a whole bunch of little tiny dents in different places down through the hood, and the hood's got a woe to it.
Feel these. Is that part of the weathering underneath?
I think that's something
Part of the reinforcement underneath
yeah,
there,
and then
or-
it got maybe slammed or hit or
It's
pushed
still
on.
under there. It don't look like there'd be two lines there, unless that's just some,
I
bracing
don't know.
underneath it.
You can see it in certain angles. Yeah, right there you might be able. Yep, right there you can see it. It's a
Yeah.
raised up spot. I don't know. Maybe we can. We'll look at what we can get and see in Dynacore and have a different one. But that's where we're at.
Well, they damaged. They ain't gonna take that back.
And the cow, this needs to be flat. That's not a big deal though. But the alignment, we got some serious alignment issues, and you know, this is his baby. He built it. You know, I was going to do the body work and the paint work for him, and we got to do a bunch of alignment and stuff to her, and all right.